But
Speaking of that, speaking of
and
appropriations, Dave and Kurt, what
yes,
about so it's beginning of September.
yes,
Yeah.
What do we
guys
think?
were
I feel
like
I've been doing
I was
this,
gonna say,
for 25 years, and I feel like every year I get there's going to be a government shutdown. So I'm kind of like getting immune to it. But
It's
this
like
time I
Charlie
actually think
Brown.
it
yeah.
is. I do actually think, though, there is a potential of a week or two, because I don't think, well, I don't know, Kurt, this question's for you, because is this one of those things that Democrats get blamed? I mean, that's what I was reading over the weekend, and I'm kind of
Well,
like, but we're
that's
in charge.
no, that's the key, and I definitely want Kurt to answer. But let me set the table a little bit because I do agree. Back in March, that particularly with Doge going on, that it would have been a bad to have a government shutdown because then that would have empowered them more to take steps. So the big question is now, is who's going to get blamed, and is it, putting aside that, more importantly, is it good strategy? What do you think,
Yeah.
Kurt?
Yeah.
Government shutdowns never benefit the party in power, in my opinion. And especially now, it's like if this goes south for them, blaming Democrats, it just looks weak sauce to me because everyone knows Democrats have no power right now and that they're rudderless and leaderless. So it's just like, no, that's not going to pass muster. I think, moreover, we go through this dance every time. Shutdown is imminent. They can't get their shit together. Conservatives are holding out. They don't want to do a short-term extension, blah, 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 blah. And then when push comes to shove, they end up capitulating and they do a short-term patch and kick the can down the road. And we have the same conversation in 30, 60, 90 days. I expect the same thing to happen here. If Trump doesn't want to shut down, Republicans aren't gonna hold up. Like, again, they will cry to the last second. They will say we have all these demands, and then at the 11th hour they will go, okay, we'll pass the CR and avert a shutdown. That's what always happens every single time.
What
do you think any
guys?
Democrat? Well, I don't know, because we've got like the Massies, we've got some of them, but do you think any Democrats vote for it?
No.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean,
Why
would you?
There's no political upside to it, in my opinion, at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I think the big thing is going to be, conservatives want it to be a year-long CR with some additions added. But do they put some sweeteners in there to get conservatives, like the DC government stuff, to try to get things passed? I don't know. I'm so tainted by this, there's going to be a shutdown. Maybe I'm just negative Nelly today, meaning that I think it will get itself worked out.
Yeah, I think it's definitely in their best interest, but it will be interesting to see, because I think the Dems are also getting so desperate right now that it's almost the Trump mentality. Let's throw everything against the wall and see what sticks. And so they may say, you know what, this isn't a guarantee. It may be spitting into the wind, but what do we have to lose?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about the most dangerous adversary is one who has nothing left to lose, and Democrats are kind of at that point now where it's like they've been in such the wilderness in the abyss that you have to hit that low of lows before you can rebuild and figure out what you're going to be in your identity. And they're gaining some strides here. Like what Gavin Newsom's been doing has been incredibly effective, in my opinion, from a communication standpoint. He's the first Democrat, other than maybe James Talarico from Texas, that has, I think, expanded beyond his initial sphere of influence and grown politically and in stature over the last 6 months. So, like, some of them are figuring
I
it
have
out.
to give him credit. Yeah. My question is, does he turn into a Ron DeSantis? Because but I think he's done a great job fighting the fight.
I think he has a better
He's
shot
just not likable,
because DeSantis had a
wasn't
real
either.
personality disorder, in my opinion. Like those of us who worked in Congress, when Ron was there, like would tell you, like, this is not a guy you would cross the room to shake his hand if he walked in.
Mm-hmm.
Gavin, for all of his faults,
he has a very whiny voice, which I know sounds like a petty thing, but so much of people's voting for president is visceral. And how
absolutely. Well, and Gavin, for all of his flaws, like he has charisma. He has like a certain gravitas when he walks into a room. He knows how to carry himself.
Yeah, I think, I'm not sure if I like the Gordon Gekko hairdo, but I think he is charismatic. And I think Democrats, as you say, are so desperate for someone to pick up the mantle, I think it'll work. Now, personally, I don't believe anyone from California is electable right now. Now that could change by the time we get to 2028, but I think he has a long road. But I'm just happy to see him going out there. And I think it is true because, yes, we've had redistricting that's been totally partisan. Yes, we've even had it done mid-census, but we've never had a situation where the president of the United States says, we need, or his mind, we deserve those seats because I got the most votes ever in Texas. Total BS, of course.
Right. I mean, I would say if I were in charge of the Democratic Party, what I would actually orchestrate I would have.
And I think Newsom is smart to try to come back and say, okay, well, let's fight with fire, even though I do give the Dems credit that they did try with independent redistricting. The real problem for Dems, unfortunately, is demography. If you look at the 2030 census,
oh yeah, they're screwed.
We're talking like 10 to 12 seats. I mean, it is really bad because people are voting with their feet. So I think it's really, really going to be tough. And you couple that with the really insightful piece the New York Times did a couple of weeks ago, how since 2012, Dems have been losing votes every second, red states, blue states, purple states, rural areas, urban areas. So now
but Texas is going to be blue soon because everyone from California is moving to Texas.
Yeah, but
there you go.
The problem with that is people are moving to Texas are disheartened. So they're more likely to become Republicans or vote against Dems. Texas.
Well, this is why Democrats need to listen to like James Talarico.
James Talarico, I agree, is a new-time politician, and maybe on a later show we'll talk about him. I think he has a real chance of beating Weaker.
It's just too early for people to peak like Newsom. Right. Like I think
Newsom could very well end up in a situation where I could see Senator Alex Padilla running for governor, actually, and then Newsom takes his Senate seat.
Would he appoint himself?
I think that by the time that all plays out, he could find a way to have that happen, or at the very least,
I guess
appoint
Padilla
someone who finishes out the term, doesn't run again, and then he runs.
Yeah.
No, I think that would give him a safe way out in case he can't get the nomination.
Because I agree with you. Ultimately, no one from California is going to be president. It's
right now, I just don't think it's doable. I think there's too many negative stereotypes.